And I've written she's lost everything, but she still has faith. But the more it costs us, the greater the gift is to God. Many believe the end times are within our lifetime, so let's not sacrifice the eternal for the temporal. Good morning, guys. I hope you're all doing well. Today is the 21st of December. We're reading Luke chapter 21. There are 3 more days after this of Bible study, and then we'll be finished, and then it'll be Christmas. But right now, we're getting into the story leading up to Jesus' crucifixion. And he looked up, this is Jesus, and saw the rich men casting their gifts into the treasury. And he saw also a certain poor woman casting in thither 2 mites. And he said, Of a truth I say unto you, that this poor widow has cast in more than they all. And I've written, it's not how much it is, it's what it means. So all of these rich people have given part of their wealth, right? But this poor widow, bear in mind, let's look at one thing here. She's poor. Second thing, she's a widow. So in this day and age, right, men are the breadwinners. We don't have the equality that we have right now, right? She's a widow, she's poor, she has nothing to provide for her. We don't know where she's getting her income. It's very likely that these 2 mites might be the only money she has left. And think about that, she probably only has these 2 mites left. She didn't go, let me give 1 mite and keep one for myself. She gave both. So she's literally given all that she has. And Jesus says, this poor widow has cast in more than all. As in, not each of them, but as in all of them combined. She's given more than all of them combined, because it's about what it means to her. She's given God her everything, whereas these rich people have given God just a fraction of what they have, and it probably isn't even costing them anything to give the amount that they're giving, because they have such an abundance of wealth. Whereas this poor widow, she's literally giving away possibly all the money that she has. And Jesus recognizes that the amount in which she's given, even though to humans it's small, to God, that's the greatest thing that she could have given, because she's given something that cost her. Sometimes as Christians, we'll get asked to do things for God. We'll get asked to make sacrifices in our lives where we cut out bad behaviors, we cut out things that we say, we cut out bad habits. And these are things that may cost us. But the more it costs us, the greater the gift is to God. For all of these have their abundance cast unto offerings of God. But she of her penury hath cast in all the living that she had. And I've written she's lost everything, but she still has faith to sow that seed, right? She's probably lost her social status, she's lost her husband, she's now given all her money. And yet the one thing that she still has faith in is God. She's still going to the temple, she's still giving money to God, even in her moment of weakness, even in her moment of crisis. And that is how we ought to aspire to be as Christians, right? Our faith needs to be the one thing that we never lose. We can lose everything else, but our faith is the one thing we need to stand firm. And as some spake of the temple, how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said, As for these things which ye behold, the days will come, in the which there shall not be one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. So Jesus is talking about the fall of Jerusalem, which is coming to pass. These are all like biblical prophecies that are being fulfilled, because he's the Messiah. Once he goes, Jerusalem falls, and a whole load of things that knock on and lead on to the coming of the end times, which are outlined in the rest of this chapter. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these signs be? And what sign shall there be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and the time draweth near. Go not therefore after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. So here, Jesus is essentially outlining the sign of the end times, right? And I just want us to take a listen and see if any of these things ring a bell, because there's always been speculation about when the end times are. Many believe the end times are within our lifetime. Many believe the end times are within a few years. I am one of many. So let's just read through what the signs are and see what rings a bell. Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. But before all these they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, and being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And isn't it interesting, the persecution that Christians will face will not only be from non-religious people, but it will also be from the religious institutions, right? If you look at Christianity now, it is constantly mocked, it is constantly made a joke of. There's always that argument, they wouldn't do that to Islam, they wouldn't do that to Hinduism, they wouldn't do that to Sikhism. And sometimes, not even sometimes, a lot of the times, you look in our modern day world and Christianity is often the one that gets made a joke out of and gets made a mockery of. And when you say you're Christian, it's the one that makes people snigger and makes people laugh. And of course, this is bottom level persecution compared to what the disciples went through. But it's just interesting to see now the times that we're in, where being Christian is not even something that the world will take you seriously for being. And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. But I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren, and the kinsfolk and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But there shall not an hair of your head perish. In your patience possess ye your souls. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. And I've written, does that reflect the world we have now? I'm just going to read that verse again. When ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is high. I'm not going to expand on that, but if you turn on the news, that sentence kinda is alluding to something that's happening in our present day. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let them not that are into the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. There shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity the seas and waves for roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then they shall see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. And he spake to them a parable. Behold the fig tree and all trees. When they now shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that summer is now at hand. So likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of God is nigh at hand. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. So Jesus outlined the signs that they can look at to recognize when he'll come back. And you might say like, oh, some of these have been happening for a while, like the wars and etc. But if you look at the countries involved, Jerusalem is our indicating factor, right? When it said when the armies come past Jerusalem, then the time is nigh. So Jerusalem is the one you've got to look at to kind of indicate. I'm not going to say too much. Take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, so that the day come upon you unawares. For as a snare it shall come on all of them that dwell on the face of the earth. And what Jesus is saying here, when he's saying that, oh, like, be vigilant, take care, take heed, we shouldn't let our love for the temporal things, right, our love for the things on earth, which are not going to last forever, prevent us from accessing our salvation and the things that will last forever. Because as much as it is a hard thing to try and grasp, life on earth is literally like a drop in an ocean compared to eternal life, right? And life on earth is almost like it's preparation for what's to come, right? And we shouldn't ever let anything on earth prevent us from accessing God, or prevent us from being close to him as we would have been without anything that's here. Because everything that's here is temporal, but life with God is eternal. So let's not sacrifice the eternal for the temporal. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. And in the day he was teaching in the temple, and at night he went out and abode in the mount that is called the Mount of Olives. And all the people came early in the morning to him in the temple for to hear him. And that is the end of Luke chapter 21. The next 2 chapters are a little bit sad because that's when Jesus gets crucified. And I know it's Christmas, but we're still going to read this story because that's the purpose of why he came. And I think that should be remembered while we celebrate Christmas too. So thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share and subscribe. God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow for chapter 22.